Hello, guys. Hope you're doing all right. Today, I want to talk about the war that may happen very soon on Africa's or on Nigeria's border. As you all know, a coup happened in Niger a couple of weeks ago, 1 or 2 weeks ago, really. And ever since then, the Americans, the West, they've been pushing Africa. They've been pushing precisely ECOWAS, specifically Nigeria, to go to war against Niger. The Americans believe that they can fight a three-pronged war. They can fight the war in Ukraine, they can fight a war in Niger, they can even fight a war in the South China Seas. The Americans believe that. However, what I want to touch on today is the fact that in Nigeria specifically, we do not have any national interests when it comes to Niger. There may be a few interests that we have in the sense that Niger is on our borders. However, generally speaking, there is no need to go to war with Niger. The coup seems to be a popular coup in the sense that the people of Niger are very happy that the military took over in Niger. This is something that I'm justifying their action. This doesn't mean that what they did is right or wrong. The point is that the coup is a popular coup. What the military did in Niger, the people love it, they like it, they admire it, they want it. They seem not to be happy with the fact that the French are in control of their country. They seem not to be happy with the fact that the French, the Western countries, ever since they've been in Niger, ever since they colonized Niger, there has been no development in Niger. Niger is one of the poorest countries in the world today. It has uranium, it has lots of natural resources, and yet she still struggles to develop. And so the point I want to make today is one, we have no national interest in Niger. Nigeria does not have any national interest in going to war with Niger. Number two is the fact that Nigeria is struggling at this point in time. For you to go to war, you must be a great power. Great powers go to war. Small countries or poor countries or less developed countries do not go to war. Because what will happen is this: if Nigeria were to go to war against Niger, let's ask ourselves this: where would the intelligence come from? Nigeria does not have a good intelligence apparatus. So what do I mean? We don't have an equivalent of an MI6 or a CIA who will conduct the war for us in Niger. So what will happen is that the Americans, the French, the Canadians, the Western countries, they are the ones that will be conducting the war on behalf of Nigeria. They're the ones that will provide intelligence, signals intelligence, human intelligence, open intelligence. The Americans will provide that for Nigeria to go to war against Niger. So essentially what is happening is that Nigeria is fighting this war on behalf of America. Nigeria is fighting a war that she's going to lose her people, she's going to lose some money, she's going to lose probably hundreds and thousands of lives just because America wants to fight a war against Niger. And so that's number two. Number two is the fact that poor countries like Nigeria, countries that are not developed like Nigeria, countries that are struggling to feed their own people, a country like Nigeria, which should be a great African country, still struggles to feed their own people. Currently, Naira is currently at £1 to 1,116 Naira. Inflation is very high. Unemployment is going through the roof. Things are going down the drain in Nigeria. The last thing that Nigeria wants is a war on her borders. Because what will happen is this: we can't control it. We can't control what will happen. And like I said, let's not forget the fact that the Americans are coming down with so much pressure on Nigeria to conduct this war. America genuinely believes that she can fight a three-pronged war and win all three. We already see in Ukraine how they are failing in Ukraine. The Americans are failing in Ukraine. We cannot let that happen in Niger. We cannot control what will happen in Niger. Don't get me wrong, if Nigeria moves on Niger, or ECOWAS moves on Niger in the next coming days, they will definitely win. The Nigerian people or Niger as a country cannot stand up against ECOWAS. They cannot stand up against the West. It's a small country. Even if Russia were to help Niger, I do not think that Russia, currently speaking, can help Niger to the point of defeating ECOWAS or defeating Nigeria, because she's already tied down in Ukraine. So she cannot afford to split her resources in Ukraine and go fight another war against America in Niger. So probably in 1-2 weeks, Niger will fall. But what happens after Niger falls? Look at Libya today. Libya is a failed country. Why? America, NATO. Look at Iraq. Look at Afghanistan. These countries are failed countries because of Western policies. And so we cannot allow a country on our border to be like Libya, to be like Iraq, to be like Afghanistan. We cannot control what may happen, the blowback that may happen after this war. And so slowly but surely, Nigeria is tiptoeing towards war. There is this divergence between the elite in Nigeria and her people, we Nigerians. There is this dichotomy, there is this divide between the Nigerian elites and Nigerians and common average Nigerians like myself. Nigerians like myself, most Nigerians do not want a war with Niger. Even the Nigerian people don't even want a war with Nigeria or ECOWAS. So why go to war? It makes no sense to go to war. It just makes no sense. And so what Tinubu's government should be trying to do currently is, how do we wrap our hands around this fuel crisis? How do we bring in employment for our people? How do we raise minimum wage? Those are the critical issues that the Nigerian government of today should be focusing on, not on going to war. Again, I can't say this enough. We can't afford to go to war with Niger. It's going to be very costly. Even though the Americans may sponsor it, but it just makes no sense. We cannot allow ourselves to be puppets to the Americans or to the West or to NATO. We just can't do that. There's a pride that we must have as a giant of Africa, that we only do what we want to do. We cannot do what the Americans want us to do. And so I may be wrong, and perhaps we may not go to war. But the way it's looking, with what ECOWAS said yesterday about giving the hands up to, or the thumbs up to, the ECOWAS standing force to go to, the military, we may soon be at war with Niger. And I can't help but I can't see how this will work out for good for us. I just can't. It just does not make any sense. So guys, let me know what you think. Am I making any sense here? Do you think that we should go to war? From what I've seen on social media, from my discussions with my colleagues, I don't think people want to go to war with Niger. Nigeria is not a mature country. Nigeria is still at the nascent stage of development. We are still a very poor, childish country. We can't afford to go to war. We can't even sponsor a war. We can't even pay for the war. We don't even have a well-fed, a well-paid military to go to war. So great powers like America, China, Russia can go to war. Of course they can. They are great powers. But non-great powers, countries like Nigeria, cannot go to war. And what will happen is this. Mark my words, what will happen is this. America will provide the intelligence, because one of the things that you need to go to war is intelligence. The reason why Ukraine has been a tough opponent to Russia is because the Americans are providing Ukraine with intelligence. You need to know where the tanks are in Ukraine. You need to know where the Russian tanks are so you can bomb them in Ukraine. America, with their signals intelligence, with their human intelligence, they are providing that intelligence to Ukrainians. And that's the reason why so far they've been a tough opponent to Russia. Similar thing will happen in Niger. Don't forget, the Americans, the French, they pulled out, but at least the Americans already have like 4,000 troops in Niger. So you may even have a scenario whereby the Nigerians and ECOWAS will attack, and the Americans as well with their CIA paramilitary force will join in an attack as well. And so, of course, Niger will fall in days or probably in 1 week or 2 weeks. But the whole point is this: America will be fighting this war with their money, with their intelligence, but Nigerian lives are going to be lost. Just like you have in Ukraine. Ukrainian lives are being lost, but America, they are providing the money, they are providing the intelligence, they are providing everything. But Ukrainian lives are the ones that are being lost on a daily basis. So similar thing may happen in Niger. Nigerian lives, Kenyan lives, Ghanaian lives, and the lives of other ECOWAS countries are going to be lost on a daily basis. Let's not forget, Mali and Burkina Faso, they are already inclined to support Niger. Russia, the Wagner group, they are already inclined to support Niger. And so you have this cacophony of or complex thing that Nigeria does not even understand. And so, again, I just want to say this, I'm shocked this is happening. I really thought that maybe, the way our government acts, maybe they're just talk and do nothing. And for the first time, it's as if they're talking and they're willing to also back it up with actions. At some point, we are like, let's do sanctions alone. But again, the Americans are coming down with so much pressure. Victoria Nuland, the same lady who is the architect of what is going on in Ukraine today, she was in Niger a few days ago. This same woman, this same US State Department lady, official, I don't know why they are so keen on going to war. I don't know what the Americans have to do with war. I don't know why this military-industrial complex, they are so bent on fomenting war anywhere in the world. And we cannot let our country be victims of this. We cannot let Nigerians, brothers and sisters like you and I, people that you may have as brothers, people that you may have as sisters, we can't let them die for a foolish cause. Allow the Nigerians do what suits them. If they want military, good for them. But we cannot act like the Americans and try to impose what we want on the Nigerians. We cannot do that. Each man to their own. If the Nigerians want military to rule them, good for them. When they are ready to go back to democracy, they should go back. But we cannot afford to unsubscribe from or try to mitigate other people's sovereignty. We can't do that. We must respect the sovereignty of Niger and allow the Nigerians do what suits them. And so once again, guys, let me know what you think. Am I making sense? Do you think we're gonna go to war and we'll win? Do you think that we may lose? And what impacts do you think that this war will have on myself, yourself, and other Nigerians? If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to share. Thank you so much, and God bless you.